Artist Profile, featuring Genesis.
We called the album We Can't Dance a little bit because it was living in such a dance, rap-orientated world at the moment, musically speaking. And this is just something, this is an alternative. If you don't like listening to that, if you're fed up with that, if you've had enough of it, you can check this out and it'll be something.
Others in the studio, we improvised, sort of one idea set another idea in motion, and we ended up with the song written in a musical sense, pretty much as you hear it. And melodically, most of the melody was there, but the one line that came out of the improvisations was this one line, "No son of mine." That's very disconcerting, telephones in my ear. And from that line, I think, you know, Phil was able to construct a lyric that used that as a sort of basis for a song which really deals with sort of violence in the family and a child leaving home and later on trying to return and being rejected by his father when he comes back.
It's not from personal experience at all, fortunately. I mean, the song is a very true story. It's happening all over the world. I mean, there's sort of violence in the home, really. And in the song, you're not quite sure whether it's the teenage boy that's being abused or physically, mentally, or sexually by his father, or you're not sure if it's the mother that's being abused by the father. But basically, it is a violent household, and the boy just can't stop. The song started with Tony sampling a random guitar playing that Mike was doing, sampling it, looping it, making a sound, slowing it down a bit, which was the elephant noise at the beginning, and then playing chords that went with the notes that the elephant sound was, you know, was making. And then suddenly you got a chord sequence. I start singing, and you know, everyone starts joining in, and you know, it's going somewhere, and you start lyrically, you start going, you know, da 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 da, and then sometimes you come across, if you're actually amongst people that you know very well and you don't mind making a complete tit of yourself, you actually start singing rubbish, you know, and then sometimes the rubbish starts to make sense. And "No Son of Mine" was kind of a phrase that turned up, and Mike, when we came to sort of almost finishing the song, Mike was saying, "Well, I think that's what you're singing, isn't it?" And I said, "Maybe is it?" And then we listened to it, and it did sound like it. So straight away you had a hook to hang a lyric on, you know, and so you...
A small part of what we do. Yeah, we basically record music and play it live, and the videos is something we make because they now show videos on TV, and it's another way to show people some of the music.
Behind our instruments when we're doing
those plots, you know, very extraordinary plots that bore nothing to do with the songs at all. I mean, we always have tried, unless the subject matter was quite heavy, I mean, we tried to keep it humorous, because, you know, I mean, that's what we actually enjoy doing. We kind of, I think we respond better to humor in videos than anything else.
I can direct videos, man. I can direct videos, it's no problem. Pout, baby, pout, pout. Come on, baby, give me all you got.
Put out, have strong and humorous videos to go with them.
In Concert will return with more from the making of I Can't Dance.
We were able to do one or two things that were just almost throwaway ideas. The two songs on this album was I Can't Dance and Since I Lost You were just really little ideas that we didn't really work on at all. They came up, you know, in a day or two at some point during the rehearsal. And we thought, well, they sound good like that. Let's just leave it like that. And if we get time towards the end of the sessions, let's just have a go at putting them down. And I think it's those little sort of extra ideas that you wouldn't probably have, because we'd have had more than an album's worth anyhow by that time before we did these tracks. We probably never had the energy to do it. But because we knew there's a good chance we could fit them on, we did them, and they turned out into two of the sort of, certainly the more sort of original tracks on the album, because they got their own sort of character.
Long head, this way. Put the jeans down.
We do get very involved because it's how people see the song. We've used these two chaps from Los Angeles, Jim Yukich and Paul Flattery, for quite a long time. I think they're very good in a sense because they can be a bit chameleon-like. You know, some directors just do one kind of thing and that's it. And our songs cover quite a large area from quite... No Son of Mine was quite heavy, and the next one's going to be very funny. And Jim and Paul can wear different hats. They can be different kind of directors, I think, which suits us.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, the video will obviously follow the story or the feel of the music, which has already been laid out. So how it's then treated, yes, we follow that through. I mean, we sit on Jim and Paul, unkindly so sometimes, I think. I mean, really, it's just another extension. I mean, if we could reach out and get involved in that aspect of it as well, I think we probably would, because sometimes in your mind, you imagine what it's going to be like. And of course, it's an interpretation. You describe this to somebody and they think they know what you mean, and they take it away, and it's a bit like Rembrandt saying a bit of red up there, you know, and the guy puts a bit of red where he thinks he meant, but in fact Rembrandt should have got up there and done it himself, you know. So you kind of think, really, if you can get as involved as possible, I think it's important to, if you want to see, if you care that much, and you know, we do care that much, really.
How much is that against tonight? Are you going to need a strap tonight? I think I could need a strap.
Yeah, I think you're standing tonight.
Yeah. Well, I might.
All right.
What do you guys do? When the song was first written, the guitar reminded us of a sort of typical jeans commercial, and we thought, and filled with the lyrics, each sort of section is about a different commercial. So we're going to act it out, and it's basically the idea that the guys in these adverts, the very good-looking, cool guys, maybe, I mean, they look good, but maybe that's all they do. Maybe there isn't too much up there, and so it's going to be a funny one, and Phil's going to play the guy. See, he always gets to laughing. He always gets to laughing. He's going to play the cool guy.
It's incredible, isn't it? Everybody. I thought we wouldn't get a laugh in here because there's nobody else. I thought I'd try it.
Gives you in your spare time or your off time to do a solo project?
Particularly the way we work as Genesis now, where the last 3 records have been done with music that we've all written together. All the music you hear on the Genesis records recently has been stuff has come out of improvisation in the rehearsal room. So the kind of stuff one writes on one's own doesn't get a look in, if you like. And I quite like that with Genesis. I mean, I think it's great. But it means, obviously, you have all this other material you want to do things with. Apart from the fact it's great working with other people, you know. But we do have, as a group, we have a great relationship, and we still feel we do some stuff that we really like and have a great time doing it. So we want to keep that going.
You're at rehearsals right now for a massive Genesis tour with an incredible stage setup. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
At the moment, we're still at the stage where we're sort of trying to get it all working, actually. The main feature of it is we've got these screens, 3 screens behind us, jumbotrons, which are going to be very integrated into the show. We've done a lot of filming and stuff for them, for things to go on it as well. Plus that, the way the stage is set out is different. We've got the speakers are further apart than usual. There's no kind of canopy. So we don't have this sort of black box effect, you know. We've got sort of lights on tracks and things. It's going to be great fun.
Genesis basically took 4 years off. Does it take a while to get used to working with each other again?
We fall back into it very, very quickly. I think it's not like we don't see each other during that period at all. I mean, we do. We see quite a lot of each other and things. I mean, and we are, first and foremost, we're friends, you know. The friendship is based on music, though. I don't know what it is when we get back into the room and we just sort of do it. We pick up pretty much where we left off. I don't think we tend to, as a group, look very far ahead, and that, I think, is the reason why we've been going so long. If you have a long-term plan of 4 or 5 years, and if something goes wrong with it, you know, then it can throw you. Whereas with us, we can never really be thrown because we don't really have a long-term plan. Stay tuned for REM next on See in Concert.